if you don't start learning contentment, even when you are worth Elon money, you still not be content. If I just get this job in tech, my life will chill.
Yeah.
Is it not the job that's stressing us now?
The reason we're frustrated is because we have expectation. And when those expectations are not met, it breeds that degree of frustration.
Before my 20s, I just always thought women have kids. Stop.
1 out of 4 women have not achieved the 4 traditional life milestones: the career, the house, the partner, the children, and achieving all of those by age 30. What's your perspective around contentment balanced against ambition? Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode. Doyin, how are you?
I'm doing well.
I'm Simone, and together we'll be talking today about, the feeling when you've put in all the work, you've done everything that you think you should be doing, yet you feel like you're not where you should be.
Yeah.
In today's episode, we'll be unpacking that feeling, understanding where those expectations come from, how to handle them in real time, and also our personal experiences of how we navigate through that. We also want to contextualize it within the broader scope of things. What does the research say about it?
Yeah.
And how can our listeners and our watchers actuate on what we discuss?
Okay, let's get into it.
Okay. So to start off, I saw a statistic not long ago that said 1 out of 4 women have not achieved the 4 traditional life milestones. And those milestones are what? The career, the house.
House. Buying a house.
Buying a house.
Okay.
The partner.
Being
married.
Okay. Or in a committed.
Committed relationship. And achieving all of those by age 30.
What's the 4th one?
I think it's probably the children.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So knowing that, let's say 25%
Have achieved
all 4 of all 4. I want us to dig into that and understand where those expectations come from.
Yeah.
If they're even still accurate, to be honest with you, given the world that we're in.
Like, are those still the right set of expectations?
Exactly. And how we can navigate those feelings.
Okay.
Yeah. So to start off, I want us to talk a bit genuinely on where do you think or where had you planned to be
By now. In my mid-30s.
Yes. Where had you envisioned yourself? I know, because back in the day, I used to write 10-year goals.
Yeah.
20-year goals. So where
do you see yourself in 10 years?
Exactly.
Hello? I've not even seen myself in the evening. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow evening.
Yeah. I was asking 20
Where
years.
do you see, yeah. Okay. Sorry. Your serious question was, where did I think I would be by now?
Yeah.
Okay. By my mid-30s, it depends on what time frame you asked.
When you were 25.
When I was 25
Yes.
or before when I was 25, reality had started.
Okay. Let's say maybe 20s.
Like
1920. Yes.
1920.
Yes.
I thought by now I will be married. I'll be married with 2 children, 2 boys. Very specific. Who already had names.
Yeah, I remember
Anyway.
you told me that names.
Yes. I'll be married with 2 boys, 2 kids, and I will be leading a conglomerate of businesses. And what else? That's as much as I dreamt. Of course, within all of that is I'll be super rich money-wise. I'll have enough money to take care of my mom, to take care of everything around me. That's kind of how I envisioned my life.
If you were to start that against where you are in reality.
Okay. You're not asking if I think those are still what I want for my life. No.
No, we're just saying in the reality right now.
What I have now.
Yes.
Versus where I thought I would be.
Yeah.
I don't think I've achieved that, especially on the career front. I think that's the place where I felt like I'm 10% of where I thought I would be.
Yes.
And then I'm married. I have a daughter. But on those ones, I'm good. I don't even want the 2 boys anymore. Yeah, so
scatter your house.
yeah, exactly. So I've kind of evolved in terms of where I want to be, but the career one is still one that I feel like I've not been able to achieve close to where I thought I would be by now.
Yeah. And does that evoke any sort of feelings for you?
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of like shame, not with people, because like a lot of people think, oh, you've done very well for yourself.
Yeah.
But for me, no.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of shame around like what I could be doing
versus
what I am doing.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
so it evokes a lot of this feeling of shame, feeling of I'm not doing enough. So that's kind of, it's always a negative emotion when I think about where I thought I'll be in my career
versus
and where
you
I am.
are. Yeah. I 100% resonate with that feeling. If I could even place myself 15 years ago, where I thought I'd be running one mad tech firm by now. Think level of like Black Panther tech.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought like, the basics.
No. Like my dreams were were very severe.
Like deep tech.
Deep tech.
Yeah.
I thought I would be driving that kind of firm and
driving it in Africa?
Yes. 100%.
Because I know you are at the very least you are way more passionate about the African
landscape.
Yes, than a lot of my friends who are also passionate, but your passion beats theirs.
Anyway, that's what 15 years ago.
That's
where I didn't really evaluate the marriage.
Yes,
like
was
marriage
busy.
and kids was not.
I've told the people on this podcast, the regular listeners, Simone was dealing with bigger issues. When I was there saying I want 2 boys and I want their names to be this, Simone is like, how can I solve world hunger?
No, not really. I just maybe I just didn't think in that dimension.
Yeah,
but I didn't think about those things
as a measure of success. It was more
I didn't think about them
like at all, whether success or not.
Yeah, I didn't think about
That's
those.
That's actually good.
I didn't necessarily have the timeline of 30. For me, it didn't matter. But the one that I knew that I wrote multiple books and journals for myself.
Was your career?
Yes, was my career. Now, relative to where I'm at, I feel the same emotions. And part of it is like, I feel frustration that I know where I want to be. I'm not there yet. And it's not even clear to me how to get there. That's one. 2 is around the realities of life. There's some constraints to life. Like I still have to show up. I don't want to say constraints per se, but I also have to be a good parent and a present parent. And sometimes all of those can't interplay at the same
time in the same season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I find that I can be very hard on myself.
Yeah.
And as a result, that breeds some degree of like frustration, some degree of shame, some degree of resentment for myself. Like why, like what's the like
Yeah. And I like that the way you put that. And I definitely feel the same thing. For me, it's more like I know where I want to be. I know how to get there, but I'm just not doing it. And that frustrates me a lot. And it's frustration on myself, not even on the system, not even on, I'm just like with myself, like I think more than ever before, I have a sense for how to get there, but there's just something, just one tiny thing holding me back. Sometimes it's fear, sometimes it's be reasonable, sometimes it's that.
Sometimes you're just tired.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah. Sometimes I just need a nap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, can I just take a break without being a serious and responsible human being for 6 months? Yeah. So that by itself frustrates me a lot.
Yeah. And I think maybe a lot of people also feel some of those frustrations. But I want us to kind of unpack, where do we think those expectations stem from? Because the reason we're frustrated is because we have expectations. And when those expectations are not met, it breeds that degree of frustration.
Yeah.
So my question is, where do you think these expectations or that list of like, these are things you need to clear before you're a certain age, who wrote it out for us? Is it from our parents? Is it from society? And is that list actually correct, or does it need updating?
Yeah, and I think, something I want to call out is that both of us have talked about the fact that the career front, and we're not doing bad, by many people before they'll go and check our LinkedIn.
No.
Well, no,
Yeah.
but compared to where we wanted to be, I guess what I'm calling out is a lot of what we're having frustrations around, or like we've not achieved this, is very career focused. There are a lot of people, and career is arguably the one place where you have a lot of agency in terms of like defining expectations. Like maybe you wrote it down and I wrote down all those things, but a lot of the other 3 things, you mentioned 4 things.
Yes.
Right. A lot
so
of those.
like having your partner, by being able to afford a home.
Exactly.
Or financial. And I think being able to afford a home is a proxy for financial freedom.
Career and all of that. But like having a partner and having kids, those are many times I'll say they are more societal expectations than like career expectations. So like there would be some people listening where what they are, the one that frustrates them is that I'm putting in the work, I just can't find the right partner, or I made a mistake with the partner and so it set me back, so, or like I just can't have these kids. Like I'm trying
doing everything I can.
Yes. So just wanted to like say like there could, within those 4, there are some that are more society and biology driven than others, because we can still achieve, amen in our 50s. We can still achieve,
we can have the conglomerate,
but it could feel like there's a window for you to achieve the other 2, so there's a bit of like,
and that window is to some extent closing
upon you. So just wanted to acknowledge that a bit. I mean, who sets the goals for me? Maybe I'm not a good example here, but like I feel like depending again, like I said, on what phase or what time period we're asking about, like maybe before my 20s, I just always thought women have kids, full stop. Like I've never thought about a world where women, I wasn't exposed to those women that chose not to have kids or not to get married. I was brought up in this marriage and kids are like top. Whatever career thing you're achieving,
sure.
career should always be number 3 or number 4 after God, the man you find, and the kids. Then go and like there were a lot of cultural upbringing there where it wasn't. Career was never number 1. So before my 20s, it just wasn't a world I thought about. Like, so society defined that for me. But more in my 20s, I started questioning myself a lot. Like, do I want to get married? Do I want kids? At some point, maybe I was 25 or 26, I told my mom that I don't want to get married. Right? So we had that conversation. So in my 20s, I started defining those expectations myself. Oh, do I want to get married? Do I want to have kids? How many do I really want? How do I want to have them? Right?
Yes. Important question.
And career as well. I started refining all those things. So I'll say pre-20s or 25, a lot of those expectations were set for me by society and or the way I grew up. And then after 25, I set those expectations for myself.
And do you think it hits different if the expectations are set by yourself consciously versus if these are societal expectations for you? Or does it not matter so long as there are those expectations? Does the feeling of like I'm not meeting up hit different when the person who sets the expectations is different?
I would think they are different. Like a lot of people, because if society sets an expectation and you're just not achieving it, there's a whole group that's coming at you. Like, oh, why don't you have these babies? Or sometimes they don't say anything, but you start feeling uncomfortable in those family meetings. And, so it's different. I don't know which one hurts more, but there's the huge hurt that I feel like I set these expectations. I can achieve it, but you are just not achieving it. That's also a huge source of pain for me. So I don't think one is bigger than the other or the pain is more painful. But I just think it hits differently.
And it speaks maybe to a different
exactly
type of who we are. Okay. Like I said, less than 25% of women between 25 to 30 have all their 4 traditional milestones hit. All four.
I actually want to meet those women. Yeah, 25 feels like a big number.
Yeah. I mean,
25%, I mean, feels like I want to meet those women. Anyway, maybe
to understand the how. To understand not only the how it was achieved, but how the evaluation was also done.
What kind of evaluation
are we doing? And maybe that also speaks to how we should evaluate ourselves, and maybe we're not being or maybe we're being harsh on ourselves.
Exactly.
The other thing I found fascinating, and we talked about this a little bit, was the arrival fallacy, which psychologists have defined as you anticipating something, but then once you get it, after a while you're like,
100%.
Is this really all there is to it?
100%.
And the question is, have you ever kind of experienced that emotion? And what was it? And how did you reconcile the feeling of like, is this it?
I've experienced it on different levels. When people, I feel like I grew up in a space where people fantasize having kids.
Yes.
They're just like, man, it's given my life a lot of meaning, and this, and we had some of these conversations with your mom, and so they've never said what it meant. So I had all these high expectations, and they even describe how joyful, like once you carry your baby, that day, you just feel like you just feel like it was worth it. I didn't feel any of that.
You like, okay.
I'm like,
is it coming?
Like this human being is here, I have to care for, and if you birth here by the next day or 2 days or 3 days max,
you have to go home.
You are home.
Yes.
Nobody is keeping you in the hospital to care for you. They go home, go and care for you.
Figure it out.
Yeah, and if everything is seemingly okay with your baby, they give you the 8-pound baby to go home with. And so I didn't grow up with a lot of that. People sharing both sides of being a parent. So when I had my daughter, I just felt like, is this it?
Is that what's next? What's next?
Yeah, like what is it?
Yes.
Like what's next? So I felt that for sure, and I felt in my career where after one promotion that you thought would change your life,
and then you're like,
it doesn't change.
Okay.
You're just like, on to the next. And then you celebrate. I celebrate for max 4 days, and I'm on to the next. How do we get the next one? What do I do? So it's not I
also noticed that like once I finished my PhD, like for me at the time I was like, I just need to finish my PhD, then everything will be perfect.
Yes,
like everything will be
fall.
Everything will be perfect. And then I finished and I was like, okay. Okay, I am waiting. Even though I'm feeling more stressed out. Why am I feeling more stressed out? And I think to your point of like, once you achieve that thing, like 4 days max, you're like, okay, what's the next thing? So given that we know that the arrival fallacy actually exists, what's your perspective around like contentment balanced against ambition?
Yeah, I think you are asking the one person that is not content. No, let's just put that out there. And this is something I've wrestled with a lot the last 2 years. Is we've talked about money a lot on this podcast as well, but that's an example where I'm always stressed about money. Not because I don't have enough to meet the need in front of me now,
or the ability to earn to meet the need.
It's just like this crazy, I'm here, when can I get to this next place and next place? It's like the goalpost is always shifting. So I think like we're all trying to find that balance. And one thing I tell myself, or I've learned, is provided I'm alive, I have privileges. Like it all depends. It all comes down to like how you view the world. And I'm glass half empty, right? I'm glass half empty. In fact, if you are too glass half full, I don't like it. I don't actually like you are too positive. So but I'm training myself to understand. And I've been around. I've not been on earth too long, but I've just been around enough to see that if you don't start learning contentment, even when you are worth Elon money, you still not be content.
Yes.
Right?
There's no additional thing that will bring that contentment. No. 100% I agree
No,
with
there's
you.
no, that your one extra million.
No.
After a certain level, that's the part we are all not ready for. After a certain level.
Once those basics are met. Yes.
You know, you're not begging for food. You're not begging to travel once a year. Once those are covered, that extra million won't change your life. It won't bring you as much joy as you think.
Exactly.
You know, so start learning that joy you don't have, that sadness, that this, if it's therapy, if it's just, you know, surrounding yourself with people you like, start doing it today.
Yes.
That extra promotion will not, and I've tested it over and over. The promotions, if I just get this job in tech, my life will change.
Yeah.
Is it not the job that's stressing us now?
The same job that we're like,
you know, so, and that can be said of everything. Having a husband, because that husband will stress you. Stress. You go and try to tie your destiny to someone. It
even
requires
that child.
work. That child.
By the child will be like, you're going to bathroom, the child is following you. You'll be like, let me have 1 second.
Exactly. And so you can say that about every good thing in life, right? It won't change those. That one thing will not change your life after a certain level, right? So for me, balancing ambition and contentment is something I've had because I'm very ambitious, but you can't just be ambitious. You have to find a way to balance it out and be content. Like I'm now at the point where I'm trying to learn, why do I want more, let's say more money?
Yes.
Like what
is
exactly
the thing that the money would afford
for
you?
me?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So those are some of the hard questions I'm sitting with myself. Sometimes I go to the park around here and I just sit with myself and ask myself some of those questions. Just so I can get to a point where I can be happy.
Let
me just be happy without that extra promotion, that extra this, that extra child, that extra.
Can I enjoy
enjoy now?
Yeah. So, and you know the funny thing about that, I tell myself that too. But the funny thing about that is that once you actually learn that practice, when you get to the next level, you also know how to enjoy it.
Yes.
In that season, which is why, like, one thing I also tell myself is that, yes, I want to enjoy that next thing, but I also need to remember that there was a point in time that this thing was the next thing.
Yeah, and it was my prayer point.
It was my prayer point. It was my fasting point. Yes. Yeah. So am I actually taking time to relish whatever it is? That's one. The second thing is that I also try to remind myself that very few things are without hardships. Like everything has
every
its issue.
Good thing has hardship.
Exactly. And you cannot wait for there to be the absence of that hardship thing to enjoy the thing. So I try to remind myself that it's part of the package. And what's the best I can take out of this in this moment. That being said, though, I also try to position ambition as like, yes, I'm ambitious and I would like for this thing to happen. But regardless of whether it happens or not, I'm not going to condition my experience of now on that thing.
Yeah. And that's a hard thing.
It's very hard.
At least for me.
Yeah.
Right. I can't see past that tiny thing that's not going well. I just cannot see. Like I can't.
It's hard. It's very hard. Yes, it's very hard.
Yeah. Should we talk? I don't know where you want to go next, but I want us to talk about some practical things that people can do day to day.
Yes, we'll get to practical things.
Okay.
There's just one last thing. We've talked about contentment and ambition. I want us to touch a little bit about contentment. Is contentment equivalent to settling?
No.
And how do you tease those two apart?
I mean, it's I deal with that a lot, where I feel like if I'm being content, I'm kind of settling for less.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's not black and white. It's not easy to figure out, okay, this is contentment, but this one you are settling.
Yeah.
But I don't think those two things are the same thing.
And also it's settling a negative thing. Okay.
I think there should be some seasons where there should be some seasons where
I
say settling. I stay at this job because I can staying here helps me achieve this other thing. Helps me achieve this other thing. You know, you have to think about things holistically. Right? So because if you're just achieving career-wise and those other things are not good, I've found that you are even more unhappy than I am.
Yes.
Right? So you have to think holistically. So I don't think settling is a negative thing. I think there should be seasons where you are like, I'm deliberately, what matters to me is the intention behind it. I'm okay settling for some months and then I'll say, okay, I'll pick back up here.
Yeah.
Right? Or I'll use this to settle this other aspect of my life that I want to focus more on, just those things. So I don't think it's a negative thing. Now, settling versus being content, I think, it's hard to define, but being content for me is just like thinking about, can I be happy with what I have now, whether or not I achieve what the next thing is. It doesn't mean that I'm not working on that next thing like my life depends on it. I work on it, but can I find joy today?
Yeah. So, and I think that's the difference between settling and contentment. Settling is saying that, okay, even though I don't like this thing, fine, I'm just going to accept it and grumble through it. Contentment is saying that in this moment, I want to enjoy this thing.
Yeah.
While I still pursue the
next thing. Yeah.
So now let's see, if you were talking to a 26-year-old today and the person came to you panicked, genuinely concerned about not being on track with either of these four that we've discussed, not being on track with their own personal goals, and is genuinely panicking, what can you tell that person? Not what the internet or what you think the person is politically correct, but like just from person to person, you empathizing that you were once in that position and still that even now you feel those sentiments. What would you tell that person?
I think it depends, right? One, I'll start with, are these expectations, like, let's list out those expectations.
Yes.
Are they still right for you? Like, are you the one setting it, or this what your mom set? Because some of us are still living our mom's lives.
Exactly.
Which is topic for another day. But like, who sets these expectations? Do you really, as a person, want to have kids, as an example?
Yes.
Or like, do you want to get married?
And why?
Yes. And many times when I've asked people around my age, even or even slightly younger, why, it's just that they've never thought about it. They've never seen that world where they can have a complete life without that marriage, without the kids, without all those things. So I think the first step is both of us understanding what your expectations are and if you signed up for those expectations. Right? Let's assume you signed up, but life hasn't been great, right? So you've not achieved some of those things. I think for me, what has been helpful and what I will share with the person is to focus first on those things that are seemingly going well. The part that many of us forget is we actually don't have problems until you have a health problem. All of these other problems, they are based on the assumption
that you're healthy,
that tomorrow
you're
you won't get you won't get a diagnosis that truly changes your life, right? So I think there's a retraining on, like, can we focus on some of the things that are going well that we've not been focusing on? And that's something I've been training myself to do. And then once we do that, then I think I've started finding joy. I think this is the last thing. I find a lot of joy knowing I did all that I could do with the information that I had
at the time.
Yes. And that for me has been giving me a lot of peace. Doyin, did you do all that you could do given the information you had? If the answer is yes, I think that I've achieved.
Then maybe that was the true metric in the first place.
And many of us, and me too, and I'm still dealing with this, we focus on the outcome and not the process. But maybe the real impact, not to sound like a motivational speaker, but the real thing is like the person you become
in the process, through the journey,
more than the outcome. But don't worry, real life, I'm not yet there.
Okay. So let's round up the episode then. And what do we want to leave our listeners with for the week?
I just want to tell them that as their lives don't look anything close to the expectations they have or where they thought they would be, my life too, me too, I'm not where all of us.
No one has it together. No one has it together.
Forget what you see on IG.
No one
many
has
of
it
them
together.
are crying behind the scenes, and many are happy behind the scenes, but there's no completeness of life at a single season. So like, I'm just sharing that if you feel like you're way behind, I feel like I'm way behind too on some things,
Yes.
right? And make your peace with the fact that we are all trying to figure it out, and we will.
Yeah.
We will with time. With
Yeah.
time, in 20 years' time, you're like,
You're gonna look back and you might not even like, why was I sweating
this thing?
Yeah. I think for me, I would leave the listeners with, for this week, pick one thing that you want to be content about. That's already in your life. It's not something that you're trying to gain or whatnot. Say, okay, this is something that's there. I'm grateful for this thing, and I'm content with this thing. It doesn't mean you shouldn't be motivational, but I find that finding that one thing can be somewhat reinvigorating, can be somewhat encouraging to keep going, even when you feel that life is not on track.
Yeah. Is life ever on track? Okay,
it's not. And with that, thank you for tuning in into this week's episode, and we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. Thank you.
Bye.